welcome back. Today is February 6th. My name is Terri and I'm going to continue talking about this concept of Yi. A lot of times in martial arts we don't pay attention to the philosophy behind it. We're paying attention to how do I execute this move, or how do I turn this way, or how do I go that. We're paying attention to the physical part, and we don't always pay attention to what's going on inside. That's incredibly important for everybody who does any kind of sport, anything that you're doing. If you're not paying attention to what you're doing something else, right? So, Yi in Chinese does not have a really good translation to English. It can mean mind. It can mean intent. It can refer to generally just the process of thinking. So the English concepts that we have from our language and our tradition don't always match up with what may be presented in another language, and that's particularly true for Chinese. So what's this concept of Yi? What are we doing with it, particularly in the martial arts, right? I'm going to give some examples. First, our Wudang Qigong. So I'm going to start with both hands crossed in the front, the centers and the palms connected to the lower Tantian. Yi, 在丹田内，在丹田里，再转一转。The mind, Yi, is at the lower Tantian, and it's circulating. It's not like you just put it there and let it sit. Yeah, it sit there for a while. No. This is very active. So whether you're thinking literally, this is a circle, whether you're thinking more this is just space and I'm trying to get in touch with the space that I have at that area, that part of my body, whatever that your mind, Yi, is at the lower Tantian. It's not over here in your fingers. It's not down in your toes. It will be in another minute, but it's not down in your toes right now. So this concept of Yi is very focused, and it is I'm going to call it a coordinating principle. So if your mind is focused on what you're doing, and it's open, you're paying attention, that enables you to start connecting other parts of your body, other parts of the movement that you're trying to do, other elements of your Qi body. So if I'm thinking about my Lao Gong, maybe I'm not thinking about the middle Tantian. If I have trained my mind, Yi, I can open my mind so that both the Lao Gong and the middle Tantian and the lower Tantian and several other things can all be connected all together at the same time, which is one of the things that we really try to do in the internal arts. So in Qigong, right now, my mind is at the lower Tantian. As I breathe in, I'm slowly going to bring the mind to the middle Tantian, and then back to the lower Tantian. That's where I want my focus for that particular exercise. That's where I want my mind, is to be paying attention to this very simple circulation between the lower Tantian and the middle Tantian. If I were to, say, do the opening for Taiji, Yan style Tai Chi, raise my hands and sink. In this case, my mind is actually in my root. That's where I'm focused for this particular move. So as I bring my body and my arms up, I'm sinking and drawing up through the Yongchuan at the base of the foot, and I'm also settling in and sinking into the heel. So I'm really focused on where is my root and how does that give me the ability to extend the qi, the breath, and the energy through my entire body. We have the same kind of thing with our Xingyi Santi Bu. My mind, Yi, Zai lower, Zai Dantian. My mind is at the lower Dantian. I'm focused on circulating the qi in the lower Dantian. Eventually, I want to circulate the qi through the small heavenly circle and the large heavenly circle, and do that all simultaneously. That doesn't happen without practice and concentration. So the yi, this idea of mindfulness, being present, and being focused with your intent on what it is you're doing, requires you to be 100% here all at once, all at the same time, in the moment. You can't be thinking about your shopping list, or I'm going to go take the kids for ball practice later on, or I'm going to do whatever it is. It has to be here and now. That extends into our martial arts practice through this idea of deciding what you're going to do and then doing it. Now that's not just for martial arts. That's everybody, at some point you're going to decide what you're going to do and then you're going to go do it. But anyone who's an athlete, anyone who plays sports, gymnastics, wrestling, martial arts, we have this sense of we're going to practice, we're going to do something. What is it we're going to do? So if I do a simple, this slow motion straight punch, right? Slow motion straight punch, and not much there. I'm going to do again. A little bit something else there. I'm not going to explain all of that right now, but the general idea is that as this extends, my mind is focused on what I've decided to do. I'm not focused on, let me extend my arm and I'm going to reach out here and I'm going to do this, although I have to pay attention to that. My mind is focused on, I've reached my destination. This is what I want to do. I want to do this slowly and I'm going to stop here. That's what I've decided to do. Now, I could decide, I'm going to stop out here. I'd be off balance, but I could. Here. Right? So it's a straight punch. This is something that's fairly simple. It's relatively easy to do. And if your mind is focused on what you're doing, and you've taught yourself, this is practice, this is why we practice. Right? If you've taught yourself to turn down the noise, focus the mind on what you've decided to do, then everything comes together all at once, all in the place that you've decided that you're going to put it. That's what creates the unity between the inside and the outside. And when you see someone who has developed some level of skill with that. It's poetry in motion. This is the professional athlete that just did a triple turn on the ice. This is the baseball player that just made this amazing run into third base. This is the, I could give example after example. This is the martial artist that is able to focus on what they wanted to do to the point that it becomes second nature. It's no longer, I have to think about this, I have to put mind, I have to put some effort toward this. He becomes part of everything that you do. Thank you for stopping by. I will talk more about Yi and Shin and some of the other things that we want to talk about in the internal arts another time. See you soon.